I've been playing in my Minecraft hardcore world for over 3 years, so let's go through loads of different build ideas that you can use in your own Minecraft worlds. And we're going to be starting in my brand new custom village, which I transformed from a plains village. And I guess we'll just start with this house, where a good idea is just to build like a cool chicken pen using these trapdoors, as the chickens aren't actually able to jump up, which is a really nice feature, and you'll obviously be able to jump over, which allows you to gather all of the different eggs. I'm using warm chickens here, as another great way to add detail into your Minecraft world is to decorate with mobs. Like, I've got chickens throughout this area, same with some iron golems. There's some villagers walking around. I've got a pig pen with villagers and iron golems inside, as well as there's a sheep pen there, and there's a cow pen right over there. It just helps to add more detail, even if you don't plan on using those farms at all. Like, I don't really need any of these brown eggs, which is why I just store them in this chest, but it's just cool to have more ambience in the world. Especially because it makes it sound more realistic as well. Like, if I'm walking through a village, you would hear animals making noise, like the chickens clucking. As well as that, I've also got some cats laid around. That's a dog. That's not a cat. I have some cats laid around somewhere, though. And they are useful just, once again, to add more ambience. There's a cat. But also because they scare away creepers and phantoms, which are two of the most annoying mobs. Another great idea to add into your world is just adding spore blossoms. If your area doesn't really fit the theme of a pink flower, hide it under a block or something, but you can just have it out in the open just to get these really cool green particles, which help to add loads more detail. This is similar to the brand new firefly bushes, which add particles at nighttime, or if they've actually got a block above them. And I also like to add them throughout like my wheat fields and things, just for some more variance between the wheat. Additionally, I love to add in dried grass to my wheat fields, as they look like smaller shrubs of wheat which haven't fully grown yet. And a great way to have lighting in your Minecraft builds without spamming torches or lanterns everywhere is to just add a glow lichen. It seems like it works really well against like stone and moss blocks. As you can see, you can barely really recognize that there's a bit of glow lichen there, but it just helps to add an extra glow to your build and just prevents hostile mobs from spawning. Here's a cool water fountain design I built up recently. It's got a lightning rod on top as well as a bell, flower pot and some candles for light. And it's also got buttons just to add more detail. And if you press the button, it'll actually ring the bell. And also highlight the pillager that's in there. But also underneath the fountain, you can decorate it. I decorated here with mud and muddy mangrove roots, which are some of the best blocks in the game, as well as sea pickles and seagrass, just for some more texture, as well as just some more movement, because seagrass is animated. Additionally, if you want to fill up some space, just add in some log piles. Like, I've got this bigger one here, this smaller one, and then use some campfires as well, because it literally looks like just a pile of logs. I'd also recommend using the Vanilla Tweaks resource pack, which gets rid of the ash at the bottom of a campfire, just for some more detail. Here's a cool hay cart design you could use, just adding some hay along it. And then I also added some campfires as well. It almost looks like it's holding down the wheat. Same with these signs, it looks like it's sort of bordering it up. Add a composter, because you can never have too many composters. They're really useful if you get a couple of random seeds or something. Got lanterns, although I'm probably going to replace that one with a copper lantern, which is something I'm looking really forward to. Got a cool villager market stand here with an actual farmer villager inside who I can trade with, although it doesn't seem like I have any pumpkins to trade in right now. Also, one thing I love to do in different areas of my world, add in different types of flowers. For example, this is sort of in the savannah, so I'm focusing on adding poppies in here. But if we fly up, you'll see that my main area of the world focuses on using dandelions as decoration. Or this meadow area focuses on cornflowers and then dandelions over here. I'll probably say this in every build idea video, but definitely adding custom trees. They just help to add so much detail to your world. Like, I built most of this village up without the custom trees, and it looked good, but like, it needed something else, which is why I added all the custom trees in, and now it looks so much nicer. Like, this house just looks so much better now there's loads of trees surrounding it. Also, don't just add one type of tree in. Like, I've got some oak trees here, but then in the back, I've got some azalea trees. There's some mangrove trees over there. And also, they don't have to use logs and things like that. For example, these azalea ones I do are azalea leaves with andesite walls, or these mangrove ones are actually mangrove leaves, acacia leaves, as well as tough walls. Additionally, path out your world. Like, I've done coarse dirt linking all these houses together, but along with coarse dirt, add other blocks in. Like, I've added some packed mud as well as some rooted dirt, just for some extra detail, as they're some of the best looking blocks in the game. Now, not every part of your Minecraft world has to be covered in massive village houses and builds. You can just add little details in. For example, this meadow area, which I never really had a plan to build in, I just added these small boulders in with some andesite and some stone. Stone works especially well because of the buttons and pressure plates. Adding some patches of sweet berries, ferns, got some moss blocks, as well as these little custom spruce trees just for loads more detail, as well as obviously patches of cornflowers everywhere, and a Halloween zombie for some reason. But as we head into this area of my world, you'll see that there's more different types of trees. For example, I've got loads of cherry trees, as well as some trees with flowering azalea leaves this time, as it's right next to my bee farm, and Bees don't just pollinate on flowers, they can also do it on azalea leaves as well as the cherry leaves. So it's just an extra way to add some more function to your world, just as well as a nice detail, because I really like the look of these pink trees as just a contrast to the rest of a green environment. Here's a cool way you can actually have a bee nest set up, especially if you don't really need the honey from it. Just place it on top of a block of scaffolding as if it's being held up. Same with the beehive. And here's just a cool design you can do in the apiary sort of area. Add the trapdoors on top just as decoration. Honestly, love the beehive. It's probably one of my favorite blocks. And you can also add just a pair of shears in case you ever need to gather beehives. Or I've also got a mini bee nest here, as I use the Vanilla Tweaks data pack, which allowed me to collect loads of little mini blocks. Another idea is just to add random building into your world. Like, I've got this little hobbit hole here I built for a YouTube short a couple of years ago. It serves no purpose. It literally has a couple of barrels inside, which somehow has dirt in it. That's quite cool. As well as just some smokers. It serves no other purpose, but it's a cool looking build. And yeah, I just really like it. Same with these big stone pillars. They don't serve a purpose, except for that one with a lightning rod. But once again, they look really cool and just help to add more sort of detail into your world. Like if I'm flying over, there's just an extra thing you could take a look at and maybe write your own story why there's these weird stone pillars here. I've actually got a similar thing over here where there's just some castle ruins, as if this was like an old gatehouse. There may have been another one here in the past, but it's been cleared away to add some flower fields in, as if, yeah, just this whole plains area. I think that's sort of my plan, or was my plan, I guess, was just to make this area look like there was a ruined or abandoned castle here. As you can see, there's some leftover bits of walls, and you don't need to actually plan out an entire castle for it to make sense. Like there's a wall here, but then there's like a tower there as well as a tower here. It doesn't really make sense. It just helps add some more detail in, especially by adding the mossy cobblestone in. With the cobblestone, it just helps it look more blended into like an overgrown area. Same with the leaves slowly growing everywhere, as well as the azalea plants. Random bits of wheat, which you don't even need to use as wheat. It could look like taller bits of grass, as well as the bush blocks, which are some of my favorite blocks. Then little pebbles, as if it's fallen off the castle over time. And then obviously you can add leaf litter all around your custom trees, which once again looks really good. Same with more log piles with some moss carpet on top, because you've got to love moss carpet. Before I continue showing off some more ideas, make sure to subscribe. Here's a fun idea though, using, I believe, what is this block even called? The Never Sprout. One of the coolest looking blocks. Just looks like a little bit of grass. As you can see, it literally does look like a little bit of grass, but just an extra way to add detail. It's a bit more sort of vibrant than the rest of the colors in your world, but honestly, I think it works. Same with these crimson roots. Like, I think the crimson roots really work in like a grassy environment. I think I've got some, yeah, I do have some over here, if you can see, sort of right there. Oh, right there as well. But like, this can sort of work as maybe a different type of plant. Also, like, not all grass and things in real life is green. Like, I've got a field right by my house where there's big patches of red sort of grassy areas. Same with like whites and yellows and things. So it just helps to add more variation in. This is sort of my idea as well of not adding builds into every part of your world. Like, this is just an extra overgrown area of my world. Maybe it can't be built in because there's a river right here, and maybe it oh, I've just crumpled that wheat. That's annoying. But maybe it's because there's a river here and it floods, so this area has to be used as just floodplains or something. And then you can also, if you don't use a build, make it look abandoned and ruined. Like I built this barn up years ago, but I never used it. Lightning ended up striking the roof of it, as you can see if we fly up. So I just decided to destroy it even more, like adding some jungle planks, this sort of stained wood, moss carpet everywhere, as well as leaf blocks, as well as just vines sort of covering the whole outside. And then make it all ruined inside with a llama in apparently, and some bamboo, some log piles, to make it look like it's just never used anymore, especially if you don't use it yourself. As not every build in your Minecraft world has to be completely useful. Like, don't get me wrong, it's great to have useful builds. Like, that hot air balloon up there is useful because it's an AFK point for a creeper farm underground, or a couple of these houses, like this one's useful, it's got a pumpkin farm inside. But not every single house in your world has to be of use. Like, I've got some more village houses over here, which, I mean, I have interior decorated, like this one's like a little restaurant area, but it has no use, so I never come in here. It's just an extra building to add more detail into my world, which honestly is a good thing. Same with just adding mobs once again. We've got a wolf here with wolf armor. We've got some cats around. This is because I really hate dealing with phantoms, especially if I don't sleep for a long time. So having cats around just scares them off. Another way to add more detail as well is just to add some sugarcane in like grassy areas. And obviously you can just hide bits of water under moss carpet, which just helps to add more detail. Also got some gravel in the tree for some reason. Moving along, we've got one of my favorite builds in this world, which is literally just like a little boat workshop. It's really inspired off of my sort of starter base designs where I use lots of mangrove and spruce wood, but simply inside it looks like I'm building up like an oak boat or like an oak canoe or something, which I could use then to put in the river. Or not even necessarily me, just someone who lives around this area. I just think this is a really cool build. It's definitely one of my favorites I've done, although it looks quite outdated now, and it reminds me as well, we're getting the brand new copper chains and copper bars very soon. If you want to support me and my channel, consider becoming a channel member. This way you get to see previews of upcoming videos, as well as being able to share your video ideas. Members will be featured inside of my Minecraft world by being written into a book, and for $5.99 a month, you can be named after a mob inside of my world. Simply press the join button or the link in the description. Another idea is just to connect up your entire world with paths. Like, I've shown loads of build ideas just from following this path along, as it goes all the way to the barn, but it also goes over this bridge to this windmill, to all the windmills in fact. Eventually I do plan on making it move all the way to this village as well as the industrial area, but you can follow it up this way, go along this path, over to my llama village, which is another build idea. If you have a specific target in your Minecraft world, like I wanted to get the best llama in Minecraft with all the chest slots, to build an area dedicated to that mob. Like, this is breeding up llamas, so I've built loads of wheat fields to get the hay bales in order to breed up the llamas, and also this is another idea of adding a specific type of flower. This one is only oxeye daisies, which are a really cool looking flower. But as we head over this wall, if I can jump over, we've got Harrydallama inside with a maximum amount of chest slot. Another good idea is to add sort of statues and monuments to dedicate different achievements. Like, if you don't do YouTube, it doesn't have to be like YouTube achievements, obviously. It could be like surviving 1,000 days in your world, or it's your birthday and you want to do a celebration or something. But this one here is dedicated to, 2,000 days in my hardcore world, from the 6th of July 2024. Just a llama built out of copper, which is slowly aging away, which is probably the best block to build statues with, as copper ages over time, so it just adds more detail to your world. Like, this was originally an entire orange statue. Another good idea is to name your build. Why is that villager escaped? I have no idea, but this is where I go to trade with all my cartographer villagers, so I've named it the Cartographer Club, which apparently this guy's escaped from. I don't know how he's managed that. But then you can also obviously decorate the inside. We've got a villager family portrait, it looks like, as well as, oh, I have actually added a roof in here recently, but this is the Cartographer Club, just full of cartographer villagers. And then if you have an area built around an ocean, which this is probably the worst ocean in the world, if we use Zero's world map, as you can see, this is pretty much the whole ocean. It goes around this island here, but then it goes through rivers, but it doesn't connect up to a big ocean. Like, this is the biggest ocean, but it doesn't connect. Like, all the rivers, as you can see, this is blocked off, so it doesn't go to this bit of the ocean, or this is all blocked off, so it doesn't go to this part of the ocean. Now, I should have built the industrial district up this way, where I've got a giant ocean. And you know what? Maybe I will build something over in, like, this area, where there's a giant industrial area in the future. But maybe just build up a lighthouse to symbolize that you're right near an ocean. Also, maybe add a lightning rod on top, because one, it could look quite cool if lightning strikes it, but also because then it prevents lightning striking somewhere else in your build and potentially burning it down. Also, this is something I want to continue. I want to add loads more of these villager sort of tiki heads around this area. I just hadn't got to doing it. What was this one for? 7,000 subscribers. So if you want to see me build any more, make sure to subscribe. Anyway, amazing segues aside, if you have an area of your world where there's farms, for example, this is my spawn chunk and this is my iron farm, build something around it. I've been meaning to build like a custom mountain around this iron farm for years, and I will get to it soon, don't worry. But, I mean, I haven't done it yet, so I can't really show you, but if you have a giant ugly farm in your spawn chunks, like this cobblestone one or this iron farm, just build something around it. Another idea is just to build random settlements in your world. Like, this is a beetroot village. I'd never really come here because I don't need 2,000 beetroot, but it's a cool little building area with a cool llama statue in the back. Check out that video if you haven't seen it yet, but I don't really come here. It's just a nice little village area though. For example, we got the beetroot bone meal building here. Or over here we have a giant like sort of fishing village with another lighthouse, which I really like this design actually. This is one of my favourite places in the hardcore world actually. I just never really come here. It's a cool idea as well with the banners on fences. Almost looks like clothing or towels being hung up. As well as these prismarine walls which look a bit like fish if you sort of use your imagination. As well as that, not every type of tree in your world has to be custom. For example, these are just bone meal jungle trees here, but they help to add more detail in. Same with these patches of bamboo. And transform a shipwreck, because the shipwreck structure in Minecraft is really cool, and building boats is difficult. So just in a creative world even, rebuild or resummon in a shipwreck and customize it to look a lot nicer. Like this one now has sails to it. But if you enjoyed this video and learned some new build ideas, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe and let me know if you have any build ideas of your own. Also, consider becoming a channel member as you can get featured inside of this hardcore world.